Hey everybody, welcome to 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, Season 5. People still have car alarms? That's so interesting.
Yep, because it's like, the nigga's still gonna steal the shit before you get to the car.
Yeah. That's my thing. I'm like, what's the point of car alarms now? Like, it's going to be stolen by the time you get to it. And when people are stealing your car, what are you going to do?
Right, you gonna run after it, like, because I'm damn sure not.
Yeah. At all.
Mm-mm.
So, yeah, season 5. We've been with this series for 5 seasons.
Oh shit!
I'm excited.
Oh
yeah, because
wow.
we've been with them from the beginning.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I don't know why I thought we came
believe.
in like season 2. But you are.
I guess I could go look.
It doesn't matter. We've done it for a long time.
Yeah, but it's been a good time, and this particular series does not disappoint.
No, never.
Let's start with Brandan and Mary, aka Michael, Sarah, and Mary.
Yeah,
I'm not giving Mary
no,
a name.
no.
I would diagnose her, but other than that, I would like.
I have a full.
Because she needs some couch time.
Actually, both of them do. Just hers is displayed more, but.
Oh, I'm not saying he needs to be. He needs to be checked to see if he has a manifesto. Let's go with that. If you know what I mean. So, this is so fucking disgusting. So McLovin is about to phone bone with Mary. So we think, right? But no, he is preparing to get on the porcelain throne and shit while Mary is on the iPhone on a tripod.
So McLovin is 23 years old, and he's from Eugene, Oregon. Mary is 23 years old, and she is from the Philippines. And we open learning that they spend every living, breathing moment on video chat, including while he washes dishes, takes a shit, washes the car, go to the supermarket. Like, she's always there on that little three-legged tripod.
Did you notice he did not wipe?
No, I didn't. Also, Brandan with an A, aka McLovin, that's his name from now on, lives.
Michael, Sarah, whichever.
I like McLovin. He lives in an RV in the driveway of his godparents' home. So he has to do everything in the RV. He has a kitchen in there. He got a queen-size bed. And he also has to mitigate the smells when he takes a shit in there. Which meant that production was in that RV while he was taking said shit.
And all they did was provide a little pine tree car freshener.
Y'all let all that fecal matter just
the strawberry
around
too.
you.
Yeah, like it's not just. That's why you're supposed to shut the toilet, friends.
I was gonna say, I know he don't put the lid on when he flush. I know he don't.
That's a given. What makes you think?
Do you know? No, there's a lot of people who don't put the lid on when they flush.
It's also an indicator of like stuff around the bottom of the toilet. Like when you don't, yeah. But just hygiene-wise,
I can see how, some of y'all niggas' aim is when we have unisex bathrooms, and I look at the base of the toilet.
Yeah. I also. I have a thing with. So I'm all for gender neutral bathrooms because it's the fucking bathroom, right? But I feel as though we need to do overhauls of public bathrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we need to have individual stalls with rooms and doors that completely, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because in general, I just don't want to hear somebody like doing stuff.
No.
Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
Just
I don't want to smell it.
yeah, I just don't want regardless of gender, I don't want it. If we just need to overhaul the bathroom situation in America and abroad.
You know, they talk about banning gay books, you know, banning critical race theory, which is not being discussed, banning drag queens and transgender care. Let me tell you what the real villain of this country is. Black toilets. Ban that. Y'all want to ban why? Get out of here with all that other dumb shit.
That is so weird. I hate black tubs, black toilets. Why?
I don't even know nothing about black tubs, but I know you go into the nightlife in the city, and when they have black toilets, I know they're not cleaning them bathrooms regularly. You are hiding a child. I can't with a black toilet. It's got secrets. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it does. So, we learned a lot about Brandan with an A, or McLovin. So at 15, his mom failed a drug test and got the kids taken away. And him and his siblings got split up into foster care. He lived with his dad, but his dad was fairly abusive. And he was homeless for a moment until his godparents found out and was like, come live with us, you know?
And you don't even have to pay rent. All you got to do is help around the house, clean out our above ground pool, you know, sweep our porch, and you can live in this RV in our driveway, as, you know, for the time that you want.
Yeah, Caitlin and Ryan, they seem like a cool couple, you know, they cool, laid back.
Caitlin and Ryan, is that the teen?
The godparents.
Oh, I thought that was the 16 and pregnant people.
No, those are his godparents.
Oh, wasn't that the 16 and pregnant people too?
Yes, but yes. But yeah, he thinks Mary saved him. They met on a dating app, and you know, he is super in love with Mary.
Yes. There's something about Mary.
Yeah. Now, I am very weary of white people who talk about not having good experiences in America because LOL.
Yeah.
But, you know, his is based off of his personal experience. You know, he's had a fucked up life with family and stuff.
And his mother ended up validating that later on as well.
Oh, Winona Judd. Yeah.
It is.
I was like, oh, this is the Judd.
It is the Judds.
See, our younger audience, back in the day, there was a television film called The Judds, and it was a biopic. Biopic or biopic?
I don't ever know.
A biographical film about country superstars, Winona and Naomi Judd. You may be familiar with the youngest sister, Ashley Judd, who gave a phenomenal performance in Double Jeopardy.
Oh, okay.
You haven't watched Double Jeopardy?
No.
Man, how have you not? That's a Negro classic with no Negroes in it.
Well, no, I'm not talking about in general. I'm talking about her episode.
No, Double Jeopardy is a movie.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Jeopardy, Double Jeopardy.
No, it's a movie called Double Jeopardy with
Oh, no.
Ashley Judd.
Oh, no. I don't know anything about
you need
that.
to watch. You need to watch.
I literally thought you were talking about Double Jeopardy.
You need to watch it because it takes place in New Orleans. From what I remember, and it's about look it up. I want to say Matthew McConaughey's in it too, because that's where. Because she was accused for a crime, but then she didn't really do it.
Oh, this came out in 99?
She did. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Tommy Lee Jones is in it?
There you go.
Okay.
Matthew McConaughey. I was like one of them white men with accents.
Not you calling them.
I thought the bitch was white. I don't know.
Ooh, and the fact that they are in fully different age brackets is what really is so amazing to me about that.
Are they?
Okay, let's see.
Know.
Wikipedia says they're wealthy residents of Whidbey Island, Washington.
Okay.
Libby is Ashley Judd.
Mm.
So they can Libby. Oh, what? What? Oh, but she didn't do it though. What? Oh, nigga, he framed his own death. That's some what's that shit called? White Lotus shit.
White people be so crafty with their crime.
Oh, she spent 6 years in the pen. Oh, that means she learned some things.
Make it look like an accident.
That's what they're good at. Maybe I should go watch this. You know, I'm all about the murders.
It's a good time. So, you know, they do weird shit. They send each other worn clothing of one another. She's got his name tattooed on him twice. We learn a little about her. Like, she's outgoing. She was on the twerk team for a little bit in college. You know, she... The most funny part about is, like, learning what she went to school for. She was like, I got a bachelor's in forestry. What?
She said, what did she say? She said, bio...
and like, bio... Like, she majored in forest. Like, you know, it was like, okay.
But the worst part about it is... Because we can go ahead and say it now. She got kicked out of school because I guess part of her scholarship was her dance. Because mama be up there tick-tocking, okay? And boom cat. Dude. And she got kicked out of school because she couldn't fulfill her scholarship. He made her quit the dance team. She also models, and he made her quit modeling.
Because neither of them likes each other being around the opposite sex without each other's presence.
Hers seems a lot more drastic. She's also, from what we've seen only in episode 1, the most deceitful about, and for no reason, but the most deceitful with this, with this jealousy.
Like they, Brandan, McLovin went to go get his teeth cleaned, and of course had her in his hand, and the dental hygienist was like, "This is getting weird," and you know she's trying to engage, like, "Oh, you know, is she your first love?" And then McLovin, I don't know why. Sometimes it's okay to lie. Or excuse me, what did Esther Pearl say? Sometimes it's okay to be opaque.
Oh, that's a nice way of saying it.
Yeah. She said, we're too honest in relationship. At the expense of whom? I was like, that's honest. So he
because
was like,
get something off your chest.
Right. He was like, no, she's not my first love. I actually fucked tons of bitches before her. Like, it was like like all you had to say was, yeah, that's my first love. That's my steady. That's my old, you know, ball and chain, literally. But no, he wanted to have some weird statement about and be all semantics about it.
Now, in all actuality, the nigga just said no.
Yeah.
And I clarify this because her reaction was so ridiculous.
Was like I just said that.
Right. Her reaction was as if XD was telling the truth. But no. He just says no. And old girl proceeds to
epic slave cry.
And let me tell you something. She has they both have zero shame for the fact that they stay on the phone like this and carry each other around like that episode of Bob's Burger where Tina was in that iPad. But she is having the bitch fit of the century because this nigga says she's not his first love. Well, bitch, you're not. So the dentist the dentist assistant is extremely uncomfortable by this entire situation. So she goes on about her business. Now, we get to Mary, where she lives. She's in the Philippines, in a caribou heavy village where there has little traffic. It clearly is just a slower pace of life. She lives with her grandparents because her parents left her and her brother at 8 months old. I don't know who's the oldest, but she said when she was 8 months, her parents left her and her brother, and her grandparents raised them. Very strict Catholic, by the way. Her brother lives with his girlfriend and his kids, and they are all a very close, tight-knit family because they don't ever want the kids to feel like the way that they felt. So she has heavy abandonment issues, which I think is important to note for the way that this all goes. Bachelor of Science is what it was in forestry. It was a Bachelor of Science in forestry. She did competitive dancing, and she fell in love with McLovin because he was a crossbreed of Harry Potter and Justin Bieber.
Yeah. I also just learned for context that white equals American.
Yes. Which is...
So, she too is running a scam.
Yeah.
She unplugs the router where she wants to go meet her guy friends.
And tells the boy that they are having power outages in their village.
In her mood. So, which I find funny because her guy friends are her gal pals.
The dolls. She went to go meet up with the dolls.
With the girls, okay? I was like, well, girl, if you would show McLovin who they are, I'm sure... Well, no, he probably one of those weird men who's like, you know, like...
Something could always happen.
Yeah, like...
No, boy, they don't like vagina. Like, right. What?
No, Candy, I don't want a dildo in my ass today. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly that. But they are the dolls. And so she goes to meet up with the 3 dolls. They just go get street food and sit in the park and talk about the myth that all Americans with penises have large ones.
Yeah. And around that time, that's when she tells us this horrible, toxic, oh my God, toxic relationship about how she lost everything because he was weird and jealous.
I was waiting on her friends to be like, does he know he don't have any reason to be jealous of us? They all were expressing their concern, but I wanted them to explicitly be like,
girl.
Is he aware? That neither one of us want each other. So they have a very toxic relationship. They are both extremely jealous. They both have caused hell and high water in each other's lives, and it only gets a little bit worse.
Yeah. So his mother, Winona Judd, comes up, and his half-sister, I didn't give her a name, but she's just going to be called
Ashley Tisdale.
No, because see, Ashley Tisdale looks like the other girl that's coming up in the next episode.
Oh, you're right. right, she does kind of look like her a little bit. Damn.
Yeah.
Well, whatever, sister.
Yeah, she also kind of looked like one of the Who's from Whoville.
I also kind of just want to call her ancestor sister because nothing she said was off kilter. Not a single thing.
No, that she was self-aware and was like, two things can be true at the same time.
And she's 8 years younger than him?
Yeah, six.
I thought she said 8.
6. I thought 6. Either way, it's some years.
Regardless, she's either 16 or 18 and was very well in her right mind and very valid in all of her opinions.
I mean, so was his mama, but also she just kind of went about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
It's also was from the wrong messenger, you know.
There's also that because
like so they all come over, and of course Mary's there too, and they're having a little picnic outside of the RV with his little brother. His little brother was there too.
Another ancestor child.
Yes.
Because the boy is
wise young man.
He's 6. He only said 2 things, and it was like profound.
So he says that his family and Mary don't get along. And it's because, well, his mama, Winona Judd, is in recovery. And so she lives with, has roommates who are all women. And because of Mary's extreme insecurity, he is not allowed to go over there and fellowship because there's a whole bunch of women. Same thing with his sister. She lives with a bunch of women, and it's not cool to fraternize, right?
And it goes beyond even just his sister having friends that she is afraid he might become attracted to or what have you. She doesn't necessarily really want him spending intimate time with his mother or especially his sister.
Yeah, because she don't really like them like that either. She thinks they're bad influences for whatever reason.
I think she thinks he would fuck his sister.
Yeah, which...
Yeah.
Again, that's why I said she needs to go talk to somebody.
Yeah, because I think she thinks he would fuck his sister. So his mom's been clean for a year. She's been in recovery for 1 year, and she seems like she's really like on a path of trying to reconcile all of the damage that she's done with her drug addiction over the past history. So we find out she doesn't really get along with his family, like you said. And his mom and his sister initially were very supportive of his relationship with her until they realized how codependent they were. Then they were like, this is toxic. Then when it started impeding on the family time of them coming back together, because remember, his mom has been on drugs for the past several years. His younger siblings were displaced into foster care. So they all just started reuniting as of recent. And
like in the last year.
Yeah, like in the last year or so. And he said they give an example of a time where him and his sister were cooking together for Christmas, and she had a problem with it. Outside of also all the other things you stated with him not being allowed to visit his mother because of her female roommates, not being able to spend more time with his sister because of her female friends. And then little brother pipes up and he was like, you are choosing Mary over your entire family.
And that's fucked up, bro.
I don't like it.
Yeah. And, his mother, Winona, was just yelling in type of way you would imagine. Like, yeah, we're not responsible for my recovery. Like, it was very much that.
I think it was right message, like you said, wrong messenger. But also, his mom didn't initially start yelling. His mother started yelling after the girl starts crying because of the things that are being said and refusing to take any accountability.
Because I get upset too.
Right.
Just don't cry.
And she says, they never liked me anyway. And that's the only thing that I have to say on this motherfucking FaceTime.
And I'd be like, you damn right.
We don't. And we just told you all the reasons why.
And never will. Why? Now, he did try to come back. It was like, hold on a second. You know, y'all are new. Mm-hmm. And that's when his sister was like, nigga, we know. But we are trying to fix that.
She also, like, hello, your siblings are not responsible. They got impacted by this shit just as much as you did. So don't come at them. Go ahead and go at your mother if you want to. But don't go at your siblings. They didn't have shit to do with your mother's decision making. And it ultimately he hears where they're coming from, but it doesn't mean that he's going to change the courses of his actions, because as we talked about in Love in the Caribbean, he keeps telling his family, when I move there, this is all going to be better. And they're like, yeah, nigga, no, that's not how it works. And he's like, it will, because we will be together. And then therefore our minds won't be able to, because they both say it, overthink, we overthink. No, y'all are just toxic, codependent, and insecure. And both of you have abandonment issues, if we're being clear. If we're being honest.
Big time.
Both of you.
Yeah. But that was them.
Yes.
All right. Let's move on to Rapunzel and White African.
Oh.
I'm not gonna go too hard on her. I'm lying. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I felt a little sad for her.
I told you my theory. All the white women with those lips, all the ones who get those lips, and the worse the lip job, the more sad they are.
Yeah, like she's really sad. And also men, okay. Because when she put the braids in and went to work, I was like, well, girl, why are you interested in men? Like, it seems to me that you be one of the bros. But whatever, cool.
No, she's one of those, I don't get along with other females. She's one of those. Like,
that's a common trope on this show.
She's also 44. Like, girl, grow up. So, she's a barber with 70-inch hair.
Now, I am 73 inches, by the way. And I think it's 72 inches. And I'm 6'3".
She said from scalp to end, her hair is 70 inches. Yeah. And her hair does graze the floor. The shortest it's ever been was to her knees. She's obsessed with fairy tales, obviously. And she is a male barber, or she is a male barber. What would it be called?
She's a barber. Just a barber.
She's a barber, but she only cuts men's hair because she does not like women's reactions to things they don't like.
Yes. Which I thought was.
She's also ADHD, and was homeschooled.
You see, every time somebody mentions homeschool, I automatically...
It's the hands in AI.
Do you know Bill Goddard?
So, she's been married twice. Once for 2 months and once for 12 hours. And then she decided she was going to get on the apps and meet her a nigga. So she gets on the Jehovah's Witness dating site to meet somebody like-minded to herself.
Denim skirts for love.
I can't. I. The fact that denim skirts are assigned to any religious, Pentecostal witnesses, whatever, they do love a denim skirt.
They love the textile of denim. It's just that's their worldly fabric. Outside of Muslim,
it's living on the edge. So
Levi is luxury.
So after chatting, within 3 days, he asked her to marry him. She went to go visit, and within 3 days of the visit, he asked her to marry him in front of a water fountain, and she ran away because she was scared. And then he caught her, he chased her, and then she said yes. Go ahead.
So, of course, we have an obligatory hater. Sam, her coworker, and she was like, girl, like, you're moving in 2 weeks, because everybody's moving in 2 weeks on a Matt Sharp show, and either getting released or whatever, and she was like, aren't you worried about the safety and shit, because last time it didn't go so well. So check it. Last time she was in South Africa, or she got robbed.
They got robbed.
They got robbed. Now, they cycle the electricity in Johannesburg. I'm assuming they cycle it in certain areas.
I from my understanding, because I've had a couple people move out there.
Or y'all could just let us know.
It's called load shedding, and they do it where they will surge the electricity and turn it off for a certain period of time throughout the day to save energy.
Make sure the grid, make sure they don't kill the grid.
Right.
That's what they low-key need to do.
They do the load shedding specific, and I know they do it specifically in South Africa. I had some friends go, and they stayed in a wealthier area, and they still did the load shedding there. So I can't speak for... Obviously, I'm not from South Africa. I can't speak for everybody, but I know based off of the information that I learned that it seems like it happens everywhere there. And I'm sure it might happen more often in lower income neighborhoods. But they were...
If you listen, if you're in South Africa, you listen to us, let us know what the tea is.
Yeah.
And we'd like to know.
I used to have some... Did I tell you about the Reagan bombs? The white South African Jewish people who I used to work for? And they wanted me to call them Mr. and Mrs.
Oh, yes, you told me. And he was like, absolutely not.
Go straight to hell. But yeah, they were robbed because of the load shedding, because it shuts off all of the cameras and anything that's used to surveil the area.
Mm-hmm. So, it is a little bit weird. Technically, they've only spent 1 week together face to face, but she's moving all the way to Johannesburg and to get married and be with him.
Oh, lest we forget, they were robbed, and then after she left, he got robbed again. Like
3 times.
So her quote unquote hater homegirl actually had some valid concerns. It was like, bitch, but he has zero interest in moving to the States. Like, none whatsoever.
Feel him, but he's like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, no.
They shoot up malls and shit in your country.
Yeah, so. I'd rather get robbed when the power goes out.
Yeah, like, no, I'm cool. They're not fucking because they're witnesses.
Fornication.
And we learned that when she's going there to Johannesburg, her mother's coming with her because they need to chaperone and also, just be there because that's just the way JW folks operate.
They have to have a chaperone to ensure that there is no sexual promiscuity while you are in the courting phase of life.
That sounds a lot like Shiny Happy People and what we watch. And it also sounds a little odd for people who are in their 40s. But hey, I'm trying to be more tolerant
to people's same. As for me, we not moving in unless I know I'm gonna be satisfied in all areas.
Yeah. To quote Samantha Jones in Sex and the City, if I RSVP for a party, I make sure it's my business to come. You know what I mean?
That's it right there. That's it right there, honey. And you're not going to hit me with the okie doke and I find out later on after we done.
Nope. Okay, absolutely not. I think that's why annulments are a thing for a reason. Because dirty men realized shit ain't good. And they was like, oh no, we got to get rid of this. I'm telling you, annulment is a man thing. Anywho, Wayne, on the other hand, is like, as soon as her mama is getting here, I'm trying to kick her out. So
she gotta go because she's supposed to stay for 3 months.
And he's like, scoit, I am an adult.
He's like, once we are legally and religiously allowed to fuck, she don't need to be here no more. And that's just that on that.
Right. So, and that was them.
Yeah. He hasn't told her that he wants her mother to leave after they get married. After that, so that is where the drama will come. We shall see.
Yeah, that was them. I'm gonna skip to a returning couple. Hot Gay Dad's back.
Yeah.
I was very excited, more excited to see our Queen Hannah.
Hello, I said Queen Hannah
Ivy.
She's gotten so big.
Okay, she got a bayang and everything.
Dude, okay, a bob. She got the bob when we last saw her, but let me tell you something. Hannah's been on Duolingo, okay? Hannah is like, I am bilingual. I am living my best life. I am traveling. She's like, yes, move your girl to the big city. So we started off with Bareback Montaña.
Kenny is still 60. He's still 60 and kicking.
And,
you know,
I mean, still might be the best looking 60-year-old white man I've ever seen to this day.
Yeah, well, we see why he does, because he has all of Sunday Riley, you know, and Clinique.
I do have a 27-step
skincare routine. Not mad at it though.
You think he gets a little touch of the tox, or you think he just
if he does, it's done well.
It's working.
He doesn't look crazy.
No, not by any means. That's what I don't know if he does. I was like, I'm not sure, but whatever is happening, it is working. Okay,
it is working, and he seems to just be, you know. He just seems to be like a happy person, and I'm just happy people in general just have good skin.
Yeah, maybe we should be happier.
Yeah, and also we don't know his fiber intake based on, you know, like
he might shit 6 times a day.
Yeah, when you get older, you got to increase it, so that might be a thing. So they've been married for 2 years. Remember, we've been through their whole story, so we don't need to recant it. So their major contention is Kenny is ready for the city life.
Yes, honey.
And Armando is like, I want to stay near the ocean.
Armando is used to small towns. He prefers the safety, the security, the community. It's how he's always been raised. And we know Kenny is from somewhere in Florida. So he's...
St. Petersburg.
St. Petersburg. But he's ready. He's like, yeah, I want to walk to a coffee shop. I want to walk to a restaurant. I am sick of driving 1 hour to drop Hannah off to school.
Yeah, I was like, this is a very triggering conversation because this is a conversation that happens in my household often.
Their second source of contention is the fact, lest we forget, they are a 27, 23-year age difference, something like that. And
26.
26 years. And Armando wants to have another child via surrogacy. And Kenny does not want to be a 70-year-old with a 10-year-old.
And I gotta be honest,
I
feel him. And not even for him, but I also think about the welfare of the child.
Yeah. You only get a few short years with your parent. Not killing the man off at 70, but...
No, but just statistically, like...
You don't... And I know that we don't know how that can go even, in a different age range, but because life happens. But also, we can be a little bit more intentional about certain things. Hell, in my house... Okay, we got together a little bit later. We were still young, but it was still later than, like our parents and things like that. And so, at this point, originally I was like, how many kids do you want to have? He was like, 4. I was like, so listen here.
We 40, dog.
Had we met in high school, I might have been able to pop out 4 kids. But at this point, at this juncture in my life, you will never have 4 children by me.
Better get on the surrogacy route.
I have some of the same concerns where it's like it's not even just about health. It is about health, but it's not just even about that. It's about quality of life. It's about the fact that Noah has a certain comfort that we work hard to give her that we didn't have. And it's like all for the sake of what? Just to say we got another one? Like, what's the... And I'm not saying I'm opposed, because we still are in the talks, but it's just like, we're not going to have 4 of them. And you really do have to assess your reasoning behind why you want to have kids. If you're having kids just to give your children a companion, that's a terrible idea. Half of siblings hate each other. Or to take care of you. Right. Like, that's also very selfish. And so you really need to break down all of the pros and the cons of bringing another life into your world, into your family. You don't know how that shifts the dynamics. A lot of times the second child is a demon. And so more often, I've heard it so often. And again, I'm not saying that is always the case or that I'm fully close to it, but these are all things that you have to consider when you are thinking about growing your family, and especially at a certain age bracket.
Yeah. That was pretty much it with them. They traveled to Mexico City. They're going to spend the summer in Mexico City as a trial and to see if they like it. And they'll go from there.
Yeah, this is the first time they've really had any dissension in their 2 years of marriage. And we've seen, as we've gotten to know them, that they are probably one of the healthiest couples that we've seen on 90-day iterations across the board. Like, they're considerate of one another. They communicate effectively. And so I hope that they are able to find some sort of happy medium.
Me too.
But we'll find out.
Let's move on to the final couple.
Julio and what's that lady's name? Brooke. I call her Dutch Brooke Shields.
Oh, mine is Miro and Claudia Schiffer.
Either one of those works.
So, this weird opening scene, I was like, this isn't The Bear. What's happening? They're getting real cinema.
They really are trying to get real. They said there's a strike going on and we've got to strike while the iron is hot. And I'm like, okay. Matt Sharp don't have no scruples at all. He has none.
He said, we're going to give you a cinema if you can't get it anywhere else.
Yeah. He's like, I have no scruples. I will scab across the picket line. It's no problem.
Fuck a union label. But,
terrible.
Yeah, we have
By the way, we stand with the WGA here at Jade and XD, okay?
And SAG-AFTRA.
And SAG-AFTRA and WGA. We don't.
Yeah.
We just playing. But treat people like humans. Don't give me
pay the people the money. You know what I mean? It's not that hard. And stop taking shit away off streaming so they can't even have the opportunity to get a revenue stream off of it.
These rich white executives with their private jets and their fucking yachts and shit, they are the same bitch who will say, I will drive us both into this tree and kill us both. They do things to the detriment of even themselves, but because they are not seeing the initial effects, they continue to bullshit. But what you all fail to realize is that you are slowly killing everyone, figuratively, by what you're doing. You are ultimately going to hurt yourself. There is only so much AI can write. There are only so many Transformer movies that you all can release before niggas are like, give me something heartfelt. Because how do you think this is going to go? It's not going to go well. It's not going to fare well. And you're going to drive your own fucking ship right to the bottom of the sea. Pun intended.
Yeah. Well, again, we stand with y'all and support you all.
Yes, very much so.
So DJ Wiki is Miro's name. From Long Island. The reason why I called him Miro because he's a school safety officer, because that's what Miro used to be before he became famous.
Which is what, a security guard at the school?
Yeah, paraprofessional. Those situations.
Okay. He's okay. Got you.
School, because it doesn't necessarily have to be a security guard. It could be,
You're right. A para is a part of safety protocol. Yeah. And he's also 27, a Swiftie.
Yes. 27, Dominican. Yes, he's a Swiftie, which should have...
Because he said many things. He said many things.
Yeah,
but
it set the tone.
It did.
I was like, oh, this is going to be a situation. So he's Dominican, 27, moved to the U.S. at 8 with his mother. He was big time geek and nerd and didn't speak English well, so he got made fun of a lot. And so when he got 18, he kind of glowed up and he was like, I'm going to start traveling. So he's been in 28 countries so far. He went to the gym. He got a body. He's big active.
He essentially told us he went on the search for his white queen at 18.
And on the way, he was in the Netherlands and he found Kirsten.
Online.
Kirsten is 24 with a Rebecca Romaine current face. They met during the demic. And when they met in person, they had to quarantine. And so they were stuck together. And so initially it was awkward. And then, they popped a bottle of Pet Nat and,
that was all she
they got all loud and sassy with it,
He thought she was tilapia at first, but he found out she was real when she picked him up at the train station. Because she would never FaceTime with him the entire time. They were texting for 3 months because she was nervous about speaking English in front of him.
And she does give Autobot from Austin Powers.
Yeah, she's got like a catfish face. I'm not calling her.
She looks like a stereotypical Norwegian model type.
Yeah.
Like Claudia Schiffer and all those people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he had it like that where he can go see her like once a month, and then over the summer he lived with her in Netherlands for 2 months.
And you know why he can afford to do that? Outside of having 2 jobs, he lived with his mama. He had to pay no bills.
Yeah. So, he's been keeping this move because again, he's moving in 2 weeks. Well, in this case, she's coming to visit.
Yeah, he's moving in. He's actually moving in 3 months.
Yeah, but she's coming in a couple of days because he was like, if she got to meet my mama, and if her and my mama don't get along, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
So, he goes to hang out with his friend named Vicente or Vincent. big love. He just seemed warm and cuddly, with a good head on his shoulders, because he really was about to tell your mama gonna kill you. He tells him about his snow bunny, Kirsten, and he was like, again, if you feel like you got to keep a secret and all this shit, are you sure this is really the one? You know, you doing all this secret and hoops and stuff. He was like, well, I just want to make sure, because I never really bring a girl home, so I want to make sure this is the one. And he was like, all right, nigga, sure. Whatever.
I really feel like he should be I Know Black Poppy.
That's fair.
Because he said, it was multiple things. This nigga said, I've always wanted a wedding in another country. To him, the other country was always Europe. It was never any of the countries in the continent of Africa. It was... Yeah, it
is I Know Black Poppy.
The country was always somewhere in Europe.
Right.
He's been obsessed with European culture since childhood.
Yeah, because Kirsten actively calls him Julio, not because she can't pronounce it. It's because he wanted a European name. So she was like, all right, fine, I'll call you Julio. Which is so fucking weird because Spain is right there in Europe. And how do they pronounce Julio in Spain? Julio.
It ain't Julio. And she proceeds to tell us also that he felt like Julio was more exotic than Julio.
I'm telling you, this is like the equivalent of contacts, colored contacts.
Yeah, it is. It is. Now, he goes to cook dinner with his mother, and they're making Dominican potato salad is what I gathered it was. And just chatting. And, mothers have a certain intuition about their children. So although he is waiting for Kirsten to come to tell his mother that he's moving to the Netherlands, they're talking about her visit in a couple of days. And his mom just has a sneaking hunch that he's thinking about a move to the Netherlands.
I laugh because his mother's very dramatic. She is like, you're leaving me. I will suffer.
I will be worried about
on.
You every waking moment.
Right. And he's like, Mom, calm down. But she's like, okay, we'll see when I meet her next week. But she was also taken aback, like, nigga, you just told me about her last week. Now all of a sudden I'm meeting her and you want to move.
Now all of a sudden y'all been together a year, but I'm just learning about her a couple weeks ago. Like,
she feels it's like, you don't trust me to know this information? Like, that's messed up, bro. I thought we was cool.
I thought so. Now, when they panned to Dutch Brooke Shields, I died laughing with them cows fucking. It's like, why they show them cows fucking? Yeah. Why they show that cow bound that back like that? You working that back? But she's very, very, very Dutch. She does not drive because she rides the bike. There are... Did I tell you about the cyclists over there?
No.
Nigga. You have... Like, the way you look both ways when you cross the street, you got to look 12 times before you cross the street because them motherfucking bicycles are terrorists in the Netherlands. When she said there's more bikes than people, she was not lying. That was like one of the most fascinating things I'd seen. I'd never seen.
I would love that.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
I mean, I like the fact that there's a more focus on like transit like that modality as opposed to cars and stuff.
And it's better for the environment. They do I mean, listen, we know the pits of the evil of what came from there, but they do because Whitney was telling me, she's doing her paperwork and stuff over there. And so they make you take these Dutch history classes. So she plays me the portion of her class where they say in Dutch, the Holland was built from spices and gold. It said Holland was built from spices and gold. Unfortunately, some of the ways that they got that fortune, that gold and those spices, was not the nicest way. Said that. Then it was like, also, they kind of took place in slavery, and then like move on to the next point. It was like, y'all be forgetting, but they do try to focus on the environment or whatever. So that's the good thing about the bike. She was like, where she lives is a small town. She said they can sleep with the doors unlocked. They bike everywhere. She works in HR. She low-key threw a little shade at Americans because she was like, Dutch people are different. We get to the point. They are straightforward. We get to the point. And she was like, and I never expected to get with an American until I met Julio. Which, because I was like, I was waiting to pick up on her context. Do you be fetishizing the niggas the way that he be fetishizing y'all? But doesn't seem so.
He's definitely the fetishizer.
He's definitely the fetishizer in this.
Yeah. So, it's time for her to come to New York, and he gets to the airport, and apparently she has some issue with customs.
Yeah, child.
We don't know what it is yet because the episode ends on a cliffhanger. So will she get out of the airport or won't she?
Of course she will.
Of course. But yeah, that was the end of them.
Yeah, and that was the end of this particular episode. We have more couples coming up on this rousing season of 90 Day Fiancé the other way. And technically, we're back on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, we are. Oh, thank God. Yeah. No, this should be free. This should be on YouTube.
We've always made the other way free for YouTube. But don't you worry, Patreon. We never leave you hanging. There's so much more coming. And yeah, I guess we'll see you all next week.
Bye.